Show y'all the differences on these. All right, we still do the same thing as far as make them into your groups. Go ahead and group them. So I got y squared minus 12y, then your box. Just like yesterday, push that plus 30 down out of the way. Write that down. And you fill in the box the same way we did yesterday.
So you're treating like solving it's the same.
Say it again.
It's solving it the same, but writing it's different.
The last step is going to be different. Basically, everything else is the same. All right, what goes in the box? Plus 36 here, minus 36 here, remember? Because what we've always said is whatever you add on one side of the equal sign, you got to add on the other. But if I add 36 over here, I'll have to subtract it and bring it back. All right, so Matthew, what goes inside the parentheses? Y minus 6. And I got a negative 6. All right, here's one place where it is different. To find the vertex, look at this. Y minus 6. So if I had y minus 6 equals 0 and I move that over, what does y equal? Y equals positive 6. That has to go there. So now these are like flipped. Because yesterday we had x minus something here in this parenthesis. My x is actually negative 6. So now you take this one for your x coordinate. This is your y coordinate. You follow? All right, that's one way that it's different from yesterday. Now let's graph that. I don't know if it'll fit on your graph. Just do the best you can with it. Negative 6 up 6. It barely fits on my paper. See if it'll fit on yours. Negative 6 up 6. I didn't give y'all numbers today. You'll have to count. Sorry. All right, now the other thing that's a little bit different is when you plug in your points. All right, how have we always picked our 4 points to plug in? 2 on the left, 2 on the right, correct? Now, since we're doing it different, now since we have to plug in something for y, we have to plug in the y-axis. So now, Matthew, instead of left and right, we're going to plug in 2 numbers above the point, 2 numbers below the point. Got me? So what am I going to plug in up here above? 7 and 8. Now watch. This is where I messed up all day yesterday in third block and this morning. I put 7 and 8, 5 and 4. How did I mess up? Guys, you got to plug them in for y's now, so we got to plug them in the y column. I've been doing that every time. 7, 8, 5, and 4. Why do we switch calculators? Well, all right, so let's plug in 7. Got 7 minus 6 is 1. I got negative 5 for that. Now, most of these still have a pattern. Some of the decimals don't have a pattern. Yeah, you just plug it in, but now you're plugging 8 in for y. So it's 8 minus 6 is 2, 2 squared is 4, 4 minus 6 is negative 2. I'm doing them in my head, Matthew. You can do them on the calculator. One squared, so I got negative 5 and negative 2. So this one did have a pattern. All right, and when you graph this, negative 5 up 7 is here. Negative 2 up 8. I'm off the graph. Just kind of estimate where it would be on your paper. Negative 5 up 5. Negative 2 up 4. But it does, in fact, make a parabola that is horizontal, not up and down. Okay, on this problem, how do I figure out what goes in the box? What's half of 5? 2.5 squared is, I got a 6.25 here, so I got a negative 6.25 there. Everybody good? All right, do the next step and see if you can write down your vertex. All right, so y'all should have y plus 2.5 here. Now finding your vertex, don't forget you gotta flip it. This one goes first because that is with your y, that is your y coordinate. So I got 2.75, right? And I got a negative 2.5. Check me on that. Are we good?
Should have like the, it'll change minus the.
With this one, you still got to flip the sign because it's inside the parentheses. This one you don't. You just, yeah. Since this is with your y, Matthew, it's got to go here. All right, so let's graph that. I got I got 2.75, which is about here, down 1, 2.5.
Do we even have to graph it?
Do we even have to graph it? We're going to graph the front, not graph the back.
Is this right?
I don't know. That looks pretty big. All right, so let's check and see, Harlan, which numbers do we plug in?
I got 2, 1.
How about -1, -2? Is that why it's so big? And -3 and -4. -1, -2, -3, and -4. Two numbers above, two numbers below. All right, so now you should be able to plug them in. Messing up like that, maybe y'all won't mess up. Calculator finds you 4 answers.
We know you won't.
1, 2, at least 2, maybe 3. Probably 2 and then your final problem. All right, let's see what y'all got here. Jacob, what'd you get when you plugged in -1?
5.
+5. What'd you get when you plugged in -2? 3. -3. And then 5. All right, I'm just going by Jacob's answers this time. They look good. Over 5, down 1. Over 3, down 2. And we have a parabola going horizontally, not vertically. All right, so when you do 3, let's see if we got the same thing on number 3. And I'm not messing up in that same spot on this. Y squared minus 10y plus 25. 23 minus 25. Y minus 5 squared minus 2. All right, check my answer, Braden. Does that look right? All right, Braden, what's our vertex going to be?
Vertex,
-2 and +5. Everybody got that straight? We didn't get them backwards, did we?
I got it.
All right, so now we're going to plug in our numbers. All right, so -2 up 5 is right here. Okay, which numbers do I have to plug in, Matthew, on this one? 2 above, 4, 3, 6, and 7. Got them on the correct side this time. Plug them in your calculator and we should be good. -1 up 4. -1 up 6. 2 up 3. 2 up 7. All right, that's what I got on number 3. That's number 5. Fix that typo. All right, we're ready for number 4. All right, so number 4, we did these yesterday. Look at number 4. What do we have to divide by on the first step? We got to divide by 3. Do I divide the 14 by 3? No, it's not in the group. What do we do with it? We just move it down. So we should have y squared, -12 divided by 3 is -4. Now your box. All right, y'all finish it from there. Or at least do the next step. All right, so in the box, half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Hannah, make sure I show you this step. If you got a 3 in front on this one, Hannah, 3 times 4 is 12. So I got to put a minus 12 over here. You only have to do that when you have a number in front of the parentheses. So we got 3, we got y minus 2, plus 2. All right, somebody give me the vertex right here. What is the vertex on number 4?
2, 2.
Yeah. Over 2, up 2. 2, 2. All right, any question there?
We'll flip back to X.
All right, so when we plug in our points, I'm going to plug in 2 numbers above, which is 3 and 4. I'm going to plug in 2 numbers below, which is 0 and 1. That? So does anybody have a question on number 4, how I got any of those numbers? Taylor?
Yeah, you made this one.
I got 3, 6, 3, 2.
All right, let's see how you plug in your calculator. You didn't put the 3 in front, Taylor. Look right here. That 3 that you divided by, it's got to stay in front, and you got to put it in your calculator. That's all you didn't do.
I got the same thing, man.
Put this way out here.
The same shape.
Yeah, but it's in the wrong spot, isn't it? Hold on. You went over 5 up 1 and over 5 up 3?
No.
Okay.
It looks the same.
Yeah, it looks the same. It's just off a little bit. So if you don't put the 3, it's going to be off. I would mark off a little bit because you didn't put the 3. All right, let's go to 5. All right, I hear somebody mumbling about 5 not fitting on the graph.
-6, -15.
All right, so what do I divide by first on number 5? We divide by -3. All right, let's see how that changes it. -3 divided by -3 gives me positive y squared, right? What's -6 divided by -3? Positive 2. Then I put my box. All right, y'all go from there. And again, if you guys get big numbers, then we'll. Half 2 is 1, 1 squared is 1. -3 there, plus 3 there. Y plus 1 squared with a -3. All right, Matthew, check what I've got on number 5 for my equation. That looks right. So my vertex is going to be -3 and -1.
What do you do with that -3 on the front?
Okay, the only thing this is going to help is when you plug your numbers in the calculator, that's when you'll use the -3. Okay? So -3 down 1 is right here. Here's my point. There's my vertex. All right, so now when I plug in 2 numbers above, I got 0 and 1. 2 numbers below, I got -2 and -3. Plug them in, and it should work out. 15, guys, we can't use that. It doesn't fit on our graph. So we'll just use -6 up 0, -6 down 2, and we'll just graph it that way. All right, anybody have a question on 5? All right, so we divide by 6.
You get that?
I got y squared plus 5y, then my box. Move the plus 30. All right, I'm going to need a calculator. Let's half up 5 on this one. What's half of 5? 2.5 squared is 6.25. So we need a 6.25 in here. Okay, now look, 6 times 6.25 is 37.5, positive. So I need to put a -37.5 back here. Are we still good? Okay, so what is our vertex going to be? -7.5. Remember, you flip the sign on this one, so that's -2.5. All right, this one is kind of messy. And -7.5 is probably off your graph, I'm guessing. It's off mine. -7.5 down 2.5. 1, 2.5. I'm right here. I'll try not to give you any with bad decimals on the test.
At least make sure our graph's long
Yeah, I need to make your graph bigger too. All right, so I'm going to plug in above it, -2 and -1. Below it, I'm going to plug in -3 and -4. And all we really need is 3 points to graph it. So if you get something with really big numbers. All right, so I got -6 down 2, -6 down 3. +6 down 1, +6 down 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so it's pretty long parabola going left to right. All right, so the front does take more time. That's where you got to graph. In the back, we don't have to graph anything. We can just zip right through the back. As soon as y'all finish up, copy number 6. Just basically adding an extra step on the back. All right, we're ready for 7. All right, what does 7 have that's new? It's got a 5x. So the only extra step is when you get done with the problem, we'll divide everything by 5 so we can have x equals. Otherwise, you do it the same way. Let me show you. All right, let's do our group. Y² plus 4y, then your box. Push that plus 39 down out of the way. All right, y'all do the next step. Fill in the box. See how far you can go. So Matthew, what goes in the box?
2, 4.
Plus 4 here, minus 4 there, right? Okay. Leave your 5x over here. I got y plus 2 squared plus 35. Check that, make sure I didn't make any mistakes. Good. Now, we're going to divide everything by 5, just like this. Boom, boom, boom. So I've got x equals. Now look, when you're dividing by 5, there's a understood 1 there. So I'm going to say 1/5 y plus 2 squared. What's 35 divided by 5 give you on the end? Plus 7. This would be my equation for that one.
Oh my goodness.
All we did was one extra step. We divided by 5.
So what do you put as the vertex?
So what is our vertex? Positive 7, -2. 7, -2 is the vertex.
Okay.
So it's just one extra step, guys. Just putting this 1/5 here, and then 35 divided by 5 is 7. Other than that, it's just like what you've been doing. All right, question here.
Do you always just make the fraction in front of it?
Yep, that's how we're going to do it. I mean, you could leave it this way if you wanted to. Y plus 2 squared over 5 plus 7. I mean, you could do that. But I think they want you to do it this way so we can tell if it's compressed or stretched if we were graphing it, which we're not graphing. No, I don't think so. I think I got it right. Let's go to 8. All right, so number 8, we're going to do just like we did number 7. We had 5x. We only had 1x on number 7, correct? We only have 1x on number 8. Yeah, you just got to move the minus y squared over. Yeah. And now everything is just like number 7. So I should be able to stop, and y'all should be able to do this one by yourself. Go. All right, let's see if we all got the same thing. Half of 8 is 4 squared. I got a plus 16 there, minus 16 there. Y plus 4 plus 21. All right, so now divide by 3. So that's going to make it 1/3. Y plus 4 squared. 21 divided by 3 is 7. All right, so what's our vertex on this one? 7, -4 is correct. All right, number 9 is different. Let me show y'all why number 9 is different. Look at it. Is it 9 that's different? Yep. All right, so look, I had a y squared and a y, so I know I'm going to make my group out of that, right? Look at number 7. Same thing. I had a y squared and a y. That's what I make my group out of. Now look at number 9. What do we got? We got an x squared and an x. So now we're going back to having the y equals instead of the x equals, but you do it all the same way except for writing the vertex. So I got x squared minus 8x, then my box. what do we have to do with this 8y? Move it over, make it negative 8y. All right, now fill in the box and finish the problem. All right, what goes in the box? Plus 16 here, minus 16 there, right? So I got x minus 4 squared plus 40 equals negative 8y. All right, what do we divide by? Negative 8. So I got negative 1 over 8, x minus 4 squared. 40 divided by negative 8 is negative 5. All right, now, don't mess up when you write your vertex down. What's your vertex? There you go, because look, now inside the parentheses we got the x. So you flip the sign on that, and that's positive 4, and we keep the negative 5 for the y. So as long as you can figure out your vertex part, it's really the same thing that we've been doing. All right, is there anything new on number 10? Not really. All right, y'all do number 10. Okay, Hannah, what goes in the box right here? Half of 8. Good. So I got a plus 16. Don't forget, when you have a 9 in front, what's 9 times 16? That gives you positive 144. So what am I going to put out here? A negative 144. Add them up. I got negative 288. Y'all check that behind me. All right, so what is our vertex going to be? Did I mess up? So this time, Taylor, I've got y plus 4, so make that a minus 4, and that goes for my y coordinate. So here's my x.
Where did you get minus 144 from?
All right, let's do it again. 9 times 16, remember,
Okay, yeah, I didn't.
remember that step? Okay. All right, good. You guys are doing well. All right, so this one we'll just divide on the last step. So I'm going to keep 2x over here. Y squared plus 12y, then my box, plus 80. I'm going to let y'all finish 11. I got it started. All right, so I got 2x. That's going to be y plus 6. 44. What do I divide by on number 11? Last step.
2.
Divide by 2. So that'll give me 1/2. 44 divided by 2 is 22. So what's our vertex? Positive 22. And I flip the sign on this one, negative on the 6. All right, y'all can do number 12.
You don't divide it, so it's equal.